Inter Miami and the idea for this really began with David Beckham. And if you go back, goes way back to '07 when he came into the league. Well, he left Real Madrid to go play at the LA Galaxy, which I think really changed the face of American soccer. And, it was the first time that a global superstar came into this league, and I think lent it legitimacy. And really, as part of that, when he came here, he was given the option by the league at the time that was basically sort of in like startup mode, if we want to so say it in terms of where it is today. And they gave David an option, after he retired to buy a team, to buy an MLS team. So David, I think about 8 years ago, after he retired from the LA Galaxy, said that he wanted to bring a team to Miami, to bring an MLS franchise here. And, that was a process that he began at that time. But really, I observed, like so many other sports fans here in South Florida, about his challenges, to bring the team to the city and make it a reality for a myriad of reasons, stadium location, financing, is the league going to approve a team here, etc. And frankly, I got a call about 2.5 years ago from the commissioner of the MLS, who had seen our process. I was, we talked about jibber jabber before. I was sort of exploring of potentially doing something with the Marlins at the time, because I thought it's, listen, I'm a kid. I grew up in Miami. I was born here. I'm a huge sports fan. I have great memories with my late father and my brothers about it, really around sports, around the Dolphins, and and I didn't miss the Orange game in the Orange Bowl from 1971 till it was torn down. I missed one game. I missed an Eagles game.
What a good time!
But the memories, right?
Yeah.
And football and everything that happened. So I look at sports as something that unites communities, that brings families together. So when I received the call from the commissioner, he said, Jorge, would you be interested? I followed you and your family, everything you guys have done in Miami. Would you be interested in potentially talking to David Beckham about bringing a team to Miami? And I said, look, Commissioner, I'm not very, very familiar with all the details or the MLS or soccer, frankly. I grew up playing baseball here. I'm a baseball kid. And,
right.
And, I follow
like all of us Cuban kids.
That's where it went, a bat and a ball, on our third birthday. A week later, he called me back and he said, look, Jorge, we're very close to pulling it from Miami. We have like a dozen cities very, very interested in getting a franchise, and Miami's been difficult. I basically said, look, time out, give me a few days. So I tracked down David Beckham, and I sent a text to another gentleman who had some local ties here, Marcelo Claure, who was, somewhat involved in the efforts to bring the franchise here. We had a dinner in New York City. I told him, look, my brother and I are all in, but this has to be a Miami thing, right? It's Miami's a great sports town if you know that we're made up of a different cultural mosaic.
For sure.
We're all different, but we're all the same. We all share passion. We all love sports, but, Cuban Americans, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Venezolanos, Colombianos, Argentinians.
Yeah, it's a melting pot.
It's a melting pot, and I think this would be a great endeavor. So I said yes, and I had frankly seen, the difficulties he'd had. I got on board. David and I then flew out and we started looking at what some other MLS teams were doing around the country. And frankly, what opened my eyes was Kansas City. I was in Kansas City in the middle America, not expecting to see much, but I saw there, a 22,000 soccer-specific stadium that was packed. They had a 10,000 person waiting list. They had an entertainment district around the stadium. And it opened my eyes to the potential of how cool would this be for Miami, right, for our city, to bring an MLS team here and have this passion of soccer that we really haven't had in what I considered a serious fashion here, really since the Strikers and the Fusion and the whole history of South Florida soccer. So, we said we're all in. We got approved by the MLS. A couple months later, we had an announcement at the Arch Center in January that the MLS is coming to Miami. And really since then, it's been, pedal to the metal on trying to put everything together and everything that encompasses. So, that was how it started. That was really the beginning of the Inter Miami journey.